So Bungie shook the Crucible this week by implementing a ton of changes, including a health increase, body shot damage decrease, and a ton of weapon changes. A lot of these changes looked good on paper, and some of them were, but a lot of them just aren't playing out how I would have wanted to. The feel is off, the flow is off, specifically the special ammo economy. In 6s, it feels okay. It feels like it is working as intended, but it just feels so slow. It's really slow to get ammo back, and what that leads to is people just running double primaries because of that inconsistency with getting ammo. And that's the word, I think. I think all these changes have just led to a lot of inconsistency. The body shot damage reduction, you just don't know what's going to kill and what's going to leave them at really, really low health. A lot of that is we're still learning, but it really just doesn't feel that great when you hit those 2 headshots on something like an igneous hammer and you're used to, okay, all I have to do is hit one more body shot and they're dead. And they're running away, they're right around the corner, you hit that body shot, and they're just left with a sliver of health. It feels like they should not have gotten away with that. They shouldn't have gotten away. They should be dead, and you should be able to move on to your next opponent. There's inconsistency with the special ammo. That's the word for special ammo. It's just inconsistent. You don't know when you're gonna get it. You don't know if you're gonna get it. And that's especially the case in competitive, in trials, in 3v3 playlists. You just don't know. So much so that it is better to run a double primary loadout for that consistency. You know you're gonna have ammo. You know what ranges you can hit. And unfortunately, without special ammo, the meta has become incredibly passive. And I was hoping that this would change once people started to figure out how things worked and how that kind of stuff, but it's turning out to be a very passive kind of sandbox where you're rewarded for just sitting in the back with a scout rifle, a pulse rifle, and just peppering the enemy, especially with your teammates. Team shot is at an all-time high right now. With the increase in health, this is kind of known to happen, right? And this is where special ammo would come in to thin the herd. You'd have your sniper rifles that are taking care of these people with DMTs and pulse rifles. You had shotguns and fusion rifles that would put in place these primary weapons that are just non-existent anymore. So they run rampant. I think that special ammo works in 6s where there's a lot of enemies, you're getting a lot of assists, people are killing things routinely. But I do not believe it works in trials and comp, in 3v3 playlists. It just doesn't work. You can get 2 special ammo at the beginning of the game and never see a single resupply throughout the rest of the game. If you're not getting kills, if you have bad teammates, you're not getting ammo. The enemy team is getting tons of kills, and they're gonna get more kills once they have special ammo. So it just leads to this snowball effect in 3s. A lot of people reported that trios feels really good in trials, and that's most likely because of team shotting. You're able to communicate with your team, hey, let's pick this guy down together and move on. When there is not any communication, it becomes really difficult in this kind of sandbox that rewards team shooting and does not reward solo clutching. What this feels like is going back to Destiny 2 launch. There was almost no special ammo. Actually, there was no special ammo. It was just heavy ammo back then. And so what I was hoping for was this was going to balance out the special ammo categories, because now ammo was gained passively just by playing the game rather than based on location, but it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. I played Trials this weekend and it did not meet my expectations of a more skill-based sandbox. It wasn't about skill. It was just about, do you have a teammate that's next to you and able to shoot with you? Or are you sitting camping in the back with a long-range weapon so that the enemy can't touch you, but you're able to shoot them down? All in all, the experience feels really avoidance-based. Just avoid getting into fights unless you're with a teammate, because you will not win. If you come around the corner and you see 2 enemies and there's just one of you, you're dead. There's no fight, there's no duel, you are dead. Before, you could kind of combat this with special ammo, like a sniper rifle or a shotgun. But guess what? you don't got that anymore. You have a primary weapon that has a specific time to kill, and if they have 2 of those, you're dead. So while I think that this kind of sandbox does well in a 6v6 environment, I do not believe it does well in a 3v3 environment. So those are all the things I'm seeing. Those are the things I'm feeling. How can we change that? Well, I really think it lies in the special ammo economy. The extra health, sure. Body shot damage reduction, that's fine. We're leading into a more skill-based sandbox, and that's okay. But I really believe that the special ammo economy needs to be increased, at least for 3v3 playlists. It just does not work the same as it does in 6s. Right now, you need 100 points gotten from kills and assists and deaths, all that fun stuff. So maybe if we reduced it by half down to 50, it would be a more enjoyable playlist. Because if you think about it, 6s, you need 4 kills. How about in 3s, you need 2? I really do feel like that is the answer. The reason things are so slow, the reason things are so passive, is not because of the health increase. It's because there is a lack of special ammo. And with a lack of special ammo means there's a lack of engagement. No one's gonna push with a shotgun or a fusion. No one's gonna be scoping lanes in order to pick off that first player and then push with the rest of your team. So I don't know if they just need to tune the amount of points you get for certain things like kills, or if they just need to reduce it by half. But trials and comp just don't play well, in my opinion. The flow is off. Things are really inconsistent. So this is just my hot take. I played quite a few hours of Crucible and Trials and Comp, and this is what I'm seeing across the board. 6s feels good. It feels okay. I think there could be improvement in the special ammo economy in that area, just to make it a bit quicker in receiving special ammo. I think in 3s, it just leads to a lot of snowballing, a lot of passive play, and I think it needs to change. What are your thoughts? Are all these changes good? Do you think the special ammo economy needs improvement? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.